It's Bravo back at you once again with another quick tarot reading on a subject, and today's subject is going to be self-doubt. That is something that we all deal with at times in life. Whether you suppress it or not, everybody doubts themselves sometimes, so this is just a universal reading here in the beautiful New Mexico sky. So first off, what the tarot is bringing to us about self-doubt is telling us that the reason that we do this is because we've become conditioned to do it, that it is part of society's control over us. Not to say that society is just this overlord that is controlling everyone, but to say that we have designed society this way by so many individuals having self-doubt, it has become the norm. We have created an environment where self-doubt is linked to success, that by being down on ourselves and becoming our own slave masters, this is the idea of success and transformation that we have in society. And of course, we have a very skewed version of what success means in our society. Is it money? Is it having friends? Is it having some sort of wealth? Is it having people following you and liking your stuff? You know, acceptance from others because we can't accept ourselves. So we're seeking outwardly. And we're seeking in the wrong place. We're fighting for the wrong things. So we're continuously destroying our egos, building them back up with this self-doubt. It's a weapon that we use against ourselves. And yeah, we find some sort of success with it, but it's very tenuous. It's a very temporary success because it falls down. It's built out of cards, a house of cards, and it's all in the mind. And so anything built out of this self-doubt and this darkness, is bound to fall. Really, what we are searching for is true abundance. You can see in this card, this yogi here, he's meditating, he's having a good time, but really what we are doing is looking at how can I condition myself into the way that people will accept me? How can I control myself? How can I fight against myself? Instead of seeing your relationship to yourself as a dance, that you need to team up with yourself, and that you can't have this sort of relationship of, okay, self, you're going to do this. All right, mind, you're going to do this right now. That slave-driver relationship to yourself is not going to work. And I keep saying that word self because we each have that relationship to this idea of self. You, who are you? Who is the mind? And we have all of these thoughts internally, I'm not doing good enough, I could be doing so much better. I'm so bad at this. I'm such a failure. The negative self-talk is not helpful. But faking it isn't either, these false, positive manifestations of, oh, I'm going to be okay, I'm doing great, I am the love and the light. Those are great if you can really feel that, but if it's fake, then it's just another false prophet that's bringing you in. So what we're searching for is true intensity, truly walking the path and fighting for the right thing. And just like you can't hurt others on the way up, you can't hurt yourself to get big ups on the universe. Teaming up with the creator, teaming up with your mind, teaming up with the game of success, and not in a negative way, not playing into that game and into that false dichotomy of money and success, and really seeing the total picture as just part of the show. Stop fighting that. The total picture is this is all a game. This is all part of the show. So the self-doubt is not something you can fake away, but it's not something to identify with. It's not something to become your tool, because so many people function off of that self-doubt and it becomes their way of rising up the ladder. That's not how you find happiness. You can find some temporary success, you can find some outward happiness, you can look successful, but it can't be built on self-doubt because that's negative ego. It must be built on the game of playing back and forth, we're in this together, and not a false positivity, not some Pollyanna faking that, but genuine, seeing that people are challengers, people are friends, see that as part of this unity, that this is all one. It seems very separate. It seems like you can control it. It seems like you're a part of it sometimes, but you're isolated at other times. That's all part of the show. And realizing that there is times we get very bored. Find that intensity within yourself. Find that rebirth and that reignition of that inner energy. And follow not your conditioning that you've learned from society, but being back in touch with your heart. This is a cliche we see a lot in spirituality and New Age, but there's something real about it. Back in touch with your heart, transcending the mind, transcending the thoughts, going back into that transformation. And this doesn't mean constantly destroying your life and moving all the time. People think that's transformation, but it's really not. It's still an external thing. What we're searching for is internal rebirth, and it's some of the hardest stuff to do. But one of the reasons it's hard is because we've created a world that makes that hard. We've created this conditioning where we think that it's hard and we believe that it's hard. And of course, again, this is hard to talk about because you can't just lie to yourself and make yourself think that it's true. So fight through that, fight back to the source and give up the fight. There's a fight to give up the fight. Now that's a paradox for the mind. Let go of the fight. Fight to let go of the fight. Fight until it's meaningless, Do whatever it takes to get away from that dichotomy of fighting. Sometimes it takes a fight to go through it. For some of you it will, and for some of you it's time to give up that fight. It's time to see that you are just one of this environment, of this society, just one, and your success will give back to the world. And so doubting yourself is bad for the whole. Doubting yourself is bad for the entire world. So let go of that self-doubt, find that transformation, and don't focus on the problem. Focus on the solution. Focus back on that unity. When we're talking about self-doubt, you can't throw more negative energy at that. It's time to transcend it. It's time to let it go and focus on the positive outlets. So thanks for checking out the reading. If you enjoyed that, it's very helpful for you to leave a comment, subscribe, do whatever that good stuff. And you can always contact me on Instagram at j.s.bravo for a reading.